Stress. It's what we're talking about this week. Stress is an everyday fact of life. It really can't be avoided. Did you know that not all stress is bad? Like getting a new home or a promotion at work, these are very exciting, positive things, but they can also bring on more stress. Where does stress come from? We're going to talk about the 4 basic sources of stress. And then we're going to go over some ways to cope or deal with stress, and I'm going to throw out some ideas for you to possibly help reduce your stress. So, stress comes from 4 basic sources. It comes from the environment, where you're bombarded with demands for you to adjust. You have to endure weather, noise, traffic, pollution, and it can be stressful. You also have to cope with social stressors like deadlines, financial problems, job interviews, presentations, disagreements, demands for your time and attention, and loss of loved ones. A third source of stress is physiological. The rapid growth in adolescence, menopause in women, illness, aging, accidents, lack of exercise, poor nutrition, and sleep disturbances all tax the body. Your physiological reaction to environmental and social threats and changes can also result in stressful symptoms like muscle tension, headaches, stomach upset, and anxiety. The fourth source of stress is your thoughts. Your brain interprets and translates complex changes in your environment, and the body determines when it should turn on the quote-unquote emergency response. So, this is super important. How you interpret and label your present experience and what you predict for the future can either serve to relax or stress you. So, how you think about and talk to yourself about what is going on right now and how you see things going in the future can either serve to relax or stress you. So your thoughts are really important, you guys. There are many ways to cope and deal with the effects of stress. Doctors can treat your stress-related symptoms. There are over-the-counter remedies to reduce your pain, help you sleep, keep you awake, enable you to relax, counter your acid indigestion and nervous stomach. You can consume food, alcohol, and recreational drugs to help block stressful feelings. And then there's always diversions like the TV, the computer, movies, hobbies, and sports. So keep in mind, dealing with stress doesn't always have to be a negative choice. The goal of stress management is not merely stress reduction, because life would be boring without stress. Stress is what motivates us, what keeps us moving, what propels us to be better and to do more. So here are some ideas to reduce stress. I got 2 pages of these for you, all right? These are just ideas, all right? They may not work for you. Some you may have tried, and some may be tried and true stress reducers for you. So, develop a game plan for your personal aspirations, both short and long term. Okay, where do you see yourself personally? How do you want your life to go in the next 5 years versus the next 10, 15 years? Be nice to yourself. With everything that we have going on these days, work, school, personal lives, take time to watch your favorite show, take a bath, journal, go for a walk, meet a friend. It's really important to be kind to yourself, or else the grind will really get you down. Develop a system of time management. I always like to remind my students to get a planner or some kind of time management system on their phone where they can map out all of the items they need to do for the term. So when are tests due? When do you need to start studying? When should you start working on a paper? That kind of thing. So it's all mapped out for you ahead of time and you're not left scrambling. Develop a game plan for your career or work. You know, look at your resume. Do you have holes in certain areas that you need to fill in? Or maybe you want to do some volunteer work. Maybe you want to move up to a supervisor position in X amount of months or years. Develop a game plan for your work. It helps keep you focused. You may not stay perfectly on the timeline, but it just helps get things out of our head and onto paper and see sometimes. If you commute to work, make sure you plan enough time to arrive without feeling stressed. There's nothing like being late and arriving to work or school feeling stressed. It's not a great way to start the day. So arrive in plenty of time. I think the saying is, if you're on time, you're late. So, be early. Develop that routine. Save a little money each month. This is not always easy to do when you're in college and probably working, but when you save a little money each month, it makes it so that if an emergency comes up, and they always do, you're prepared. Your brakes go out, your washer dies. Having that little cushion helps with your stress level. Take frequent non-business fun weekends away from home, preferably with your significant other. This costs money, but it is important to take us out of our daily grind, weekly grind, and to get away. It rejuvenates you and refreshes you. It can be really therapeutic. The next one is my students always laugh at: get married if you're not. Yes, getting married can be stressful in some situations, but the reason getting married or being in a relationship helps with stress is because you're sharing what's going on. You're sharing in the burden, so to speak. So it can be helpful for some people. Get a pet. Pets are super therapeutic. They don't care if you got a bad grade on your test or if you got fired or you had a bad day at work. They love you no matter what. So depending on where you live and your time, if you're available, get a pet. See if you can rent a pet from a friend, because just spending time with them can also just help calm us down. Be realistic in your expectations of those around you. If you have people that can't give to you, they're so stressed, they have so much going on, pull the reins back, focus on yourself, and don't put your stuff on someone else. Take a look at your neighborhood. What can you do to improve the neighborhood around you and your community? It can be very therapeutic and very stress relieving to give to others. It takes you out of your own stuff. Pay attention to your physical health. Super important. And I know as college students you think you're invincible and you don't need to go to the doctor, but you really need to get those checkups, especially getting your teeth cleaned. Our teeth are really important and a lot of people neglect them. Get plenty of sleep. I know that's hard, especially during finals and midterms, but sleep is where we rejuvenate and we really set the tone for the next day. So it's really important. Eat a balanced diet. Again, I know this can be hard when you're in school and you have a limited budget, but try to get those fruits and vegetables in there and not just eat out all the time. Get plenty of exercise. Take the stairs instead of the elevator. Take care of yourself. Stay socially connected. Friends aren't just, fun. They're important for you. Develop at least one confidant, someone that you feel safe and secure with, that you can tell your deepest, darkest secret. Everybody should have at least one of those people in their lives. Find and trust in a higher power. Develop a sense of spiritual support. If that is relevant for you, go to it. It can be very helpful. Learn to laugh at yourself. Life is hard, and when you laugh and have a sense of humor, it just kind of makes you take yourself a little less seriously, and it can help to get through the hard times. Lastly, when things get tough, take a warm bath or a shower, sip a cup of tea, and just really, above all, stay flexible. There may be more than one way to cope with a situation than is apparent. You can do this.